What's going on, everybody? Red Velvet's back. Happy Monday. We've had a fun-filled weekend of baseball, basketball, softball. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Funny story. For the second weekend in a row, I don't know, my daughter's been in the ER. Ugh. Broke her thumb. Got to have surgery tomorrow. Being an adult is fun. It's fun. Parents can agree. Yeah. Real quick, I want to put this map up. We are expanding our territory. That's our area of coverage now. Green is high school, white youth league, and the red ones are the Legion ball clubs that we cover. We want to keep expanding. The goal here at DinerPod is to become the ESPN Sports Center for youth sports and all the way up to high school. So we can't do that without y'all's help. We are on Game Changer. I can take care of all the work on Game Changer. If you want to send stats. But there's some. That's the goal. You now know the mission statement, the goal of DinerPod. We want to really give the kids the acknowledgement when they work hard. In all sports, they work hard, and we cover all sports. You just got to send us the information. And if it's a sport I'm not familiar with, you're going to have to really get your crowns out and draw it out for me. But we can't do it without y'all. And if you've been paying attention today, anyway, we've been putting clips up every now and then of highlights. So if you send in the highlights, I will post them in our off times. I try to have a couple posts throughout the day that I have to get done. But in the off times, I throw highlights out. So please send the highlights. You can send them to the messenger. You can email them. Send them to my Facebook. Send me a text message. Anyways possible. Just want to really make this fun for the kids. And with that, I got to thank the people that make this possible for me. Our sponsors, Wabash Valley Plumbing, Peak Performance Gym, RJ's Formal Wear, Stitched Embroidery and Apparel, Everhope Co. Thank you to all the sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring, please reach out. And also thank you to our subscribers. For less than a cup of coffee per month, you can support the Diner Podcast. And I really appreciate the sponsors and subscribers. And with that, we're done with the shameless plugs, except one last one. Coming up, if you've known me a while, if you don't know me, you're going to figure out pretty quick. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm in the wrestling business. We do have a Diner Pod champion, Hijo de Appalachia. He will be in action Saturday, August 9th at the Clay County Fairgrounds for Singleton Wrestling Meltdown. He takes on David Light. And right now, Hijo de Appalachia is on a hot streak. He is undefeated in 2025. You'll see yours truly in the ring announcing. You never know, though. I may mix it up, might get a little action going on, but that's enough of that. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We have 17 different ball clubs, maybe some more. I'm not good at math, so I'm in podcasting. We're going to start with Legion. The Legion ball, we have three Legion ball clubs. We're going to start with West Terre Haute, the John E. High Post 501. They take on Danville Post 210 on Monday. Danville wins 7-3. On the batting side, Peyton Powers had a hit, a ribby, and a double. Alex Ramirez and Dawson Mundy had a hit and an RBI. And then Zach Rogers with a double on the mound. Peyton Powers and Garrett Porter each with 2 strikeouts. Then Thursday, 501 takes on Danville yet again. Danville does get the win 5-4. Reese Wilbur had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Jace Noblet had a hit and a ribby, and Garrett Porter and Alan Ramirez. I totally butchered that one. Sorry, buddy. Alan Ramirez with a strikeout. And then 501 took on Madison Post 9. West T wins 10-1. Brandon Daly, 3 hits and 2 ribbies. Chad Michael with a double, and Colton Inyart with 2 strikeouts. If I butcher your name, I do apologize. Then we have Post 501 taking on South Haven Post 502. West T wins 16-9. Reese Wilbur had 4 hits. Brandon Daly with 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Alan Ramirez had 2 hits and 2 ribbies. Zach Rogers with 2 hits and a ribby. And Dawson Mundy with a double. Reese Wilbur had 5 strikeouts on the mound. Now we have a Diner Pod matchup, a Dinerverse matchup, as I like to say. Post 501 takes on Clay County. Post 5-2. West Terre Haute wins 6-3. The batting side for 501, Chad Michael, 2 hits, a ribby, a double, and a triple. Garrett Porter had a hit, 2 RBIs, and a double. Alan Ramirez had a hit and 2 RBIs. Jace Noblet had a hit and a ribby. Brandon Daly and Zach Rogers with a double. And Peyton Powers with 8 strikeouts. Then on the batting side for the post 2, Derek Morrison had 2 hits and a ribby. Trey Dayhoff had a hit, 2 RBIs, and a double. And Mason Camp with a double. Trey Dayhoff had 2 strikeouts on the mound. And then 501 takes on Funkhauser, post 8. 6-1 Funkhauser with the win. Reese Wilbur had a hit and a double, and Alan Ramirez with a hit. And Ramirez had 3 strikeouts on the mound. Post 501 goes 3-3 on the week. Now we're moving over to Clay County. Post 2 took on Byron Cox. Post 72. Post 72 wins 3-1. Logan Stolting with 2 hits. Trey Dayhoff and Mason Camp with a strikeout each. Then they take on Bloomfield. Post 2 gets the victory 15-9. Trey Dayhoff had a great game. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 triples. Will Innan, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and a triple. Spencer Hanks, 2 hits and 3 RBIs. And Matthew Ewing had 2 hits. Aiden Boo with 2 strikeouts. Then post 2 takes on Rantoul. Post 287. I feel fancy when I go Rantoul. Well, Rantoul gets the win 4-3. Logan Stolting had a hit and 2 ribbies. And Derek Morrison had 11 strikeouts on the mound. Clay County then takes on the Greenville Thunder. And Clay County wins 11-6. Logan Stolting, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, and a double. Matthew Ewing had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Trey Dayhoff, 2 hits, 3 ribbies, and a double. Wyatt Johnson had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a triple. And Reed Sawyer with 2 hits. And then Sellers had 5 strikeouts. Congratulations, Sellers. Your first name was not on Game Changers, so we're just going to call you Mr. Sellers. Congratulations. Post 2 takes on the Senior Guardians, and Post 2 gets the shutout victory 12-0. Logan Stolting, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Trey Dayhoff had a hit and a ribby and a double. Wyatt Johnson, Spencer Hanks, and Reed Sawyer had a hit and a ribby. And Mason Camp with 2 strikeouts. Post 2 goes 3-2 on the week. Now we go back to Wayne Newton over in Vigo County. 346 takes on Eugene Pate. Post 265. Eugene Pate wins 13-1. Noah Fields had 2 hits and a ribby. And Dallas Coleman with a double. Gage Sullivan and Ty Stoltz, 1 strikeout apiece. And then 346 takes on Princeton, post 25. 346 wins 15-2. Ren Harper, 4 hits, 4 RBIs, and a triple. Parker Weir, 4 hits. Dom Barnhart, 3 hits, a ribby, and a double. And Jackson Pierce with a double. Sam Swaim, 3 strikeouts on the mound. Wayne Newton goes 1-1 on the week. Now we go to CYL action, the 7U Knights. I got the picture. Bear with me. It's going to take me a second. I'm a one-man operation. There they are, your 7U Quaker Bash runner-up. Got to take them glasses off. It's hard to see. The Knights start off against Avon. The Knights win 24-20. What a score. Eli Snyder, 5 hits, 3 RBIs, a double, and 2 home runs. Nolan LeMay had 4 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and a homer. Brody Weichel with a double. Krieg Moore, a double, and 2 home runs. Grayson Moss with a triple. Branson Sanders and Owen Schaefer with 2 home runs, and Broaden Silvers with a home run. Jeez. They're hitting home runs at 7. I couldn't hit one until I was 25. Knights take on the Blue Showcase, and they get a 20-20 tie. Owen Schaefer led the way. 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 home runs. Wesley Cuffle tied him. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 home runs. Brody Weichel, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, and a homer. Krieg Moore had 3 hits, a double, and a triple. Branson Sanders and Grayson Moss, 2 hits, 4 RBIs, a triple, and a home run. Now we get to tournament action. Knights take on Avon. The Knights win 21-11. Grayson Moss, 3 hits, 5 RBIs, and 2 home runs. Branson Sanders and Owen Schaefer, 3 hits, a ribby, and a double. Benny Foxworthy and Broden Silvers, 2 hits, 2 ribbies, and a double. We get to the championship. Knights take on the Blue Showcase. The Showcase edge out the Knights 18-17. Branson Sanders had 4 hits, 3 RBIs, a double, and a home run. Grayson Moss, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, and a homer. Brody Weichel, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a triple. And Eli Snyder, 3 hits. The Knights go 2-1-1 on the week. Congratulations. Now we have the 8U Knights. They went to Quaker Bash as well. I believe they took third place. I didn't write it down, so I'm just guessing. Knights take on Tri-West to start off the weekend. The Knights win big time, 20-3. Drew Shoemaker, 3 hits, 6 RBIs, and 2 home runs. Caleb Gaines, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Houston Dyer, 3 hits, a ribby, a double, and a triple. Hudson Walker had 3 hits and a ribby. Maddox Abrams with 3 hits. Rogue Nodley, Claire Harrison had doubles. Henry Kirby had a homer. Then the Knights take on the Westfield Rocks. Knights win 19-8. Max Pierce, 4 hits, 3 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a triple. River Compton, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a triple. Hudson Walker and Houston Dyer, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a triple. Rogue Nodley with a double. Caleb Gaines had a double and a triple. Then the Knights take on the Rocks yet again. 16-6, Knights with the dub. Caleb Gaines leading the way, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a double. Jax Cowden, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and a triple. Griffin Medeiros, 3 hits, a ribby, double, and a triple. Drew Shoemaker with a triple. Rogue Nodley with a home run. Then the Knights take on North Putt Cougars. The championship from the Pop Can tournament last weekend. Cougars get the victory this time, 19-16. Hudson Walker leads the way, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, and a triple. Henry Kirby had 3 hits and a ribby. Drew Shoemaker, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and a home run. River Compton went 2 hits, 2 ribbies, and a homer. Jax Cowden with a double. Maddox Abrams, Houston Dyer had triples. Caleb Gaines with a double. The Knights go 3-1 on the week. Now the 6U. The Mighty Knights. I don't know why I flex when I do that. I just like saying Mighty Knights and flexing, because I work out so much. That's a lie. They at the Quaker Bash. Knights take on Plainfield. Plainfield edges out the Knights 21-19. Kobe Market, baby. 4 hits, 4 ribbies, a double, and a home run. Boston Metzinger, 4 hits, 2 ribbies, and a home run. Rhett Moore had 4 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and 2 triples. Axe Horn. That's the best name in baseball, baby. Axe Horn. 4 hits, 2 ribbies, and a double. Denny Baker had a triple and a homer. Leo Moran had a double. Emmerich Johnson, a double and a triple. Then the Knights face the Westfield Rocks, and here's the score, and I'm not making this score up. 35-22. The Knights get the victory. Kobe Market gets a cycle. Hits that cycle, baby. 5 hits, 8 RBIs, double, triple, 2 home runs. Denny Baker, 5 hits, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a homer. Emmerich Johnson, 5 hits, an RBI, 2 doubles, and a triple. Boston Metzinger had a home run. Bo Shoemaker with a double and a triple. Dax Chamberlain, a double and 2 triples. Leo Moran had a double and a triple. Axe Horn, Beckham Shepard, and Callum Nodley with a double. And then the Knights take on Plainfield again. Plainfield gets that victory by 1 point. Just 1 point. But guess what? Kobe Market, he was on fire. He had 4 hits, 5 RBIs, a triple, and a home run. Callum Nodley, 4 hits, 3 ribbies, and a double. Rhett Moore, 4 hits, 3 RBIs. Denny Baker, 4 hits, 2 ribbies, and a home run. Emmerich Johnson had a double and a homer. Boston Metzinger, Dax Chamberlain, Beckham Shepard had triples. Axe Horn had a double. Way to go. The Knights, I didn't write this down, so I got to guess. Knights went 1-2 on the weekend. Congratulations, mighty, mighty Knights. Now we're going to move over to some basketball. Valley Elite 4th grade boys team. They start off taking on the Indy Premier. The Valley Elite win 56-26. Logan Tidd, 14 points, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. Rhett Toman had a double-double, 12 points, 14 rebounds, an assist, and a block. Oliver Thompson, 8 points, 5 rebounds. Jackson Power, 8 points, 7 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. He gets a cycle in the basketball world. I don't know why I do this when I cycle, but that's what I'm doing. Then the Elite take on the Royals Nation. The Royals do win 53-31. Logan Tidd had 7 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and a block. Oliver Thompson had 6 points and 4 rebounds. Valley Elite takes on IBC Ice, not the root beer, the basketball team. The Elite win 65-16. Rhett Toman, 14 points, 8 rebounds, assists, and 2 blocks. Jackson Power, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Oliver Thompson, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and he gets the cycle, baby. Then the Valley Elite take on the Indy Beyond. Valley Elite win 52-48. Logan Tidd, 12 points, 2 rebounds, and assist, Ford Cornelius, 12 points, 3 rebounds and assist. Brady Patton, 11 points, 4 rebounds and assist. And Oliver Thompson gets a cycle yet again. The 4th grade Valley Elite will go 3-1 on the week. Now we have the 7th grade Valley Elite girls. They win their championship in the tournament they are in. Congratulations. I got some scores for them. They take on the Lady Junior Legends first. The Elite win 47-31. Then the Elite take on the Thunder City Elite. Valley wins 43-25. They take on the Legend again and Valley Elite 41-29. And the Thunder City matchup again in the championship 35-25. Your 7th grade girls, Valley Elite, go 4-0 on the week. Now we switch to softball. We have the Clay County Softball League 8U All-Stars. They played a pickup game against Park Heritage yesterday. The Wolves win 8-5. Lainey Reese, very impressive game, all over the place on the field. She had 2 hits, a ribby, and 2 doubles. Kylie Morris had 2 hits, a ribby, and a double. Bree Sorrell had 2 hits. Anna Moore had a hit and 2 ribbies. Lydia Mannion had a hit, an RBI, and a double. Coaches, players of the game were Lainey Reese and Kylie Morris. The All-Stars went 0-1 on the week. And now we have a new team in the lineup. Boom. Your 10U Cloverdale Clovers, baby. They are champions of the 10U Quaker Bash. Thank you to their coach for sending in the stats. They start off the weekend against the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Clovers win big, 10-4. Wade Bartlett led the way, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. And Lane Mattingly, better known as Rooster. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to make the noise. There we go. I had to get it out of the way. He had 2 hits. Kaysen Parrish with 2 hits. Mind you, Kaysen Parrish is 8 years old playing up in 10U. Stud. And Tristan Gould had a hit and a ribby. On the mound, Justin Baby J Cook had 4 strikeouts and Wade Bartlett with 4 strikeouts on the mound. Then Cloverdale takes on Greencastle. Clovers win 15-1. Bryson McCullough and Wade Bartlett led the way. 3 hits, a ribby, and a triple. Landon Wall with 2 hits. Kaysen Parrish had a hit and a double. Carter Lotz with a hit and a ribby. Baby J Cook, Hunter Duncan, and Levi Beers with a hit. On the mound, Kaysen Parrish, 5 strikeouts. Bryson McCullough with 3 strikeouts. Combined through a no-no. Congratulations to those young men on the no-no. And we move on. In tournament time, Cloverdale takes on Brownsburg yet again, and the Clovers win 12-2. Kaysen Parrish had 2 hits. Wade Bartlett and Justin Cook had a hit and a double. Lane Mattingly had a hit and a double. Carter Lotz and Hunter Duncan with a hit, and Hunter Duncan had 5 strikeouts on the mound. Then Cloverdale takes on North Putt. Clovers win 10-6. Kaysen Parrish and Baby J Cook, 2 hits. Wade Bartlett and Bryson McCullough had a hit and a double. Lane Mattingly got a hit. He's also hit by 2 pitches, totaling. He got hit with 5 pitches this weekend. You're tough. You're a tough kid, man. Wade Bartlett and Kaysen Parrish had 4 strikeouts. Oh, sorry. Wade Bartlett had 4, Kaysen with 3. My bad. Then in the championship, Cloverdale takes on Tri-West. The Clovers win 5-3. Wade Bartlett had 2 hits and a double. Hunter Duncan with 2 hits, and Kaysen Parrish with a hit. Baby J Cook and Wade Bartlett each had a strikeout. Now we move to travel softball. The Lady Steelers take on the Indiana Shockwaves. The Shockwaves win 15-3. Ellie Meisner had 2 hits and a ribby. Hazel Evans with 2 hits. Gracie Bailey and Nora Lee Williams with a hit and a ribby. Ella Haltom with a double. Then the Steelers take on the Focus. FP. I don't know what FP means, but that's on the list. Focus win 15-14. Madeline Myers had 3 hits, 3 ribbies, and a triple. Ella Haltom, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, and a double. Sadie Rimp and Hazel Evans had 3 hits and a ribby. Maya Falk with 3 hits. Ellie Meisner with a double. The Steelers go 0-2 on the week, and now we move to the Warriors. They were runners-up at Everly's tournament, battled all weekend. They start off against the FRYL All-Stars. The All-Stars do win 14-2. For the Warriors, Delaney Wilson had 2 hits, 2 ribbies, and a double. Then the Warriors take on Ferdinand. I'd like to know where Ferdinand is. Please drop that in the comments. The Warriors win 15-7. Nora Thiemann led the way. 3 hits, 2 ribbies, and a double. Braylon Barong had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Lily Lumsden and Stella Wallace, 3 hits, a ribby, and a double. Hadley Pearson with 3 hits and a ribby. And then the Warriors take on the Linton All-Stars. The Warriors win 19-9. Delaney Wilson led the way. 4 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 doubles. Addison Peters, 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Nora Thiemann and Braylon Barong and Luna Siddons, 3 hits and 2 RBIs. And Lily Lumsden had a double. Then the last game of the weekend, the Warriors take on the Jasper Wildcats. I don't know why. The Warriors get 13-9, the dub. Lily Lumsden and Alice Roosin, 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Addison Peters and Luna Siddons, 3 hits and a ribby. And Delaney Wilson, 3 hits. The Warriors go 3-1 on the week. A lot of teams. I'm not good enough shape to talk. We go back to CYL, the Chaos 11U team. They were at the USSSA Tanner McCreary Memorial Classic. The Chaos start off against the Smithville Scrappers. The Scrappers win 12-6. Parker Hazlitt, Liam Fabre had 2 hits. Cole Sessinger had a hit and 2 ribbies. Reed Robinson and Elijah Farron had a hit and a ribby. And Gannon Sturley, 2 strikeouts on the mound. Chaos then take on Vincennes. And the Chaos win 9-8. Reed Robinson had a hit, 2 ribbies, and a double. Wyatt Tabler, Wyatt Tabler, Parker Hazlitt, and Cole Sessinger had a hit and a ribby. And the Boogeyman, Cruz Shepard, Liam Fabre, and Jack Dirth with a hit. Cole Sessinger had 2 strikeouts. Then the Chaos take on the Highland Havoc. The Chaos win 10-3. Reed Robinson, baby, 3 hits, 6 RBIs, a double, and a home run. Cruz Shepard with 3 hits and a ribby. Wyatt Tabler had 2 hits, an RBI, and a double. And Elijah Farron with a double. And Parker Hazlitt with a double. Then the Chaos take on South Lexington Red. The Red do win 8-1. Fabre, Shepard, and Tabler all had a hit. And Parker Hazlitt had a strikeout on the mound. The Chaos go 2-2 on the week. We had some coaches' notes. Liam Fabre caught all day on Sunday. I couldn't imagine being crouched like that all day. I can't crouch for more than a minute like that without hurting myself. He also threw 2 people out at second. The turf was 145 degrees, and he was crouched over that all Sunday. Props to you, Liam. Then we move to Terre Haute Strive 11U. Start off against Mojo Black. Mojo wins 10-4. Mac Miller, Nolan Ritchie, and Jensen McLean had a hit and a ribby. Mac Miller with 2 strikeouts. Then Strive takes on the Northern Indiana Cardinals. 7-3 Strive with the dub. Lou Cole had a hit and a ribby. Cooper Shepard with 3 strikeouts. Strive then takes on the Bulls. The Bulls win 24-9. Brock Phillips had 2 hits, a ribby, and a double. Mac Miller and Jensen McLean with a double. Then they take on the Cubs. Thank goodness to beat the Cubs. Shout out Jeremy Dirth, biggest Cub fans I know. Strive wins 8-5. Jensen McLean had 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and a triple. Nolan Ritchie had 3 hits and a ribby, and Brock Phillips added a double. Then Strive takes on Mojo Black again. Mojo wins 9-1. Now we're at the Knights 9U team. They're at the Tanner McCreary Memorial Classic. The Knights take on the Powerhouse. And the Knights win 6-4. Colton Coley led the way, 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Landon Pestoff added a double. Emerson Sinclair, 3 strikeouts on the mound. Then the Knights take on the Oldham Ducks. Quack, quack, quack. Ducks get that victory. Emerson Sinclair and Colin Hill with a hit, and Kyler Keith with 2 strikeouts. Knights then take on Smithville Scrappers. Knights win big time 16-1. Dawson Mason, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and a triple. Drake Pettiford, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Colin Hill had a double. Rhett Blair with a triple, and Landon Pestoff had a hit and a ribby. Colton Coley with 3 strikeouts. Then the Knights take on the JC Junior Panthers. Panthers edge out the Knights 14-13. Rhett Blair led the way, 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and a double. And Max Harden added a double as well. The Knights go 2-2 on the week. Now we move to Outcast Softball. They went to the Great Lakes National Tournament in Evansville. They placed in 3rd. They start off against Indy Crush. The Crush do win 5-3. Sidney McNeely and Sadie Wheeler had 2 hits. Tinsley Lamont added a home run. Then they took on the Indiana Gators. The Outcasts win 7-4. Taya Mareski had 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Tinsley Lamont with another home run. Then the Gators were their opponent again. I think this was tournament time. Gators win 15-6. Aaliyah Colton, Tinsley Lamont, Sadie Wheeler, and Taya Mareski had a hit and a ribby. Addison Austin with 4 strikeouts. Then the Outcasts take on the Elite. Outcasts win 13-3. Sadie Wheeler had 2 hits, 4 RBIs, and a double. Addison Austin, 2 hits, 2 ribbies, and 2 doubles. And then 5 strikeouts on the mound for Addison Austin. Outcasts then take on the Legends and edge out the Legends 6-5. Madeline Ventura led the way, 2 hits, a ribby, and a triple. Then we meet the Crush in the tournament. Crush win 14-5. Sadie Wheeler with 2 hits. Taya Mareski with a double. Madeline Ventura with a triple. The Outcasts go 3-3 on the week. Now we have the 10U Knights. They are your Tanner McCreary Memorial Classic champions in the 10U division. When we start off against Diesel Red, I don't know why my voice changed on that, but it's Diesel Red. That's what I'm going to go with it. 30-6, the Knights win. Garrett Tabler, 3 hits, 5 ribbies, and 2 doubles. Jackson Pestoff with 2 doubles. Easton Herbert and White Hayes with a double. And Lucas Harrison with a homer. Knights then take on the Diamondbacks. Knights win 9-1. There's my coach's notes. Make sure I put them in there. Lucas Harrison led the way, 2 hits, 2 ribbies, and a double. And then Jackson Pestoff with 2 hits. Easton Herbert, 7 strikeouts on the mound. Knights take on the J-Town Strike. Sounds like a dance group. The Knights win 10-6. Lucas Harrison, 2 hits, 2 ribbies, and 2 doubles. 2, baby. Jackson Pestoff with 2 hits. Lucas Harrison then had 6 strikeouts on the mound. Then the Knights take on Shakamak. Knights win 16-6. Wyatt Hayes, 2 hits, 3 ribbies, and a double. A.J. Johnson and Hudson Madsen added doubles of their own. And Easton Herbert, 4-0 on the week. Coach's notes. The team batting average was .476. Lucas Harrison, Jackson Pestoff, Garrett Tabler, and Landon Zabo all hit over 500. So congratulations. That's that. Now it's my favorite part of the show. This week's power performers are Trey Dayhoff for post 2, Logan Stolting for post 2, Derek Morrison for post 2, Kobe Market for the 6U Knights, Branson Sanders for the 7U Knights, Drew Shoemaker for the 8U Knights, Colton Coley for the 9U Knights, Lucas Harrison for the 10U Knights, Wade Bartlett for Cloverdale, Reed Robinson for the Chaos 11U, Laney Reese for the 8U All-Stars, Delaney Wilson for the Warriors, Sadie Wheeler for the Outcast, Oliver Thompson for the Valley Elite, and we also have a Beast Award. And people ask what the Beast Award is. That's a submission only, and it's for toughness or just a crazy thing happening. First, Landon Pestoff took a line drive to the face, got the toughness award, basically. Kept playing. Dalton DeWig hits a home run through a scoreboard. So this week's Beast Award is Lane Mattingly. Taking 5 pitches to the body. Way to sacrifice for your team. Congratulations. Congratulations to our power performers. Keep pushing. Keep working hard. And once again, if you want us to cover your sport, reach out. But I have a special gift for y'all. We're going to end on this note. So thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you to our parents. Thank you to our players. We have a highlight reel